Hey everybody, Seth with Everyman Prepping here. How's everybody doing this weekend? It's Father's Day weekend, so happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I know hopefully you're spending time with your friends, your family, your sons and daughters, which are bringing me very important to the story I'm going to talk about here in a little bit. So stay tuned for that one. But we're going to go over a few things that hopefully are going to catch your attention and get you more focused on your preps. This weekend I've been working on, getting the weeds out of the garden, trimming some of the fruit trees and the vines out there, the berries and the grapes. I had to repair a plumbing leak. Want to make sure that everything's in tip-top shape, so I had some irrigation out there I had to repair. Doing a bunch of stuff outside like I almost do every weekend. Doing all I can with every ounce of energy I have. That's why I think it's been like 5 days since I did a video because, well, this time of year, you got school ending, it's graduation time, you got the prepping, the work. So try to cram in a video this weekend. So let's get to it right away so we don't waste any more time. First thing we want to talk about is Putin here. He laid out a peace plan, a peace proposal to Ukraine. This was yesterday or the day before. All the days are running together right now, but we're going to go over some key points. Of course, and it's important what he said. Even though Ukraine, story bottom line up front, Ukraine basically said right away, no way. It was only a few hours. No, we're not doing that. United States, Europe said no, we're not doing that. So I guess they want more war, less peace. But let's look at what Putin said because it's important. This is what he said, and it wasn't unrealistic. Basically, Ukraine's going to give up some land, but they've already lost some land. The first point is there will be immediate ceasefire. If this is accepted, when Kiev withdraws its troops from the territory of the new Russian regions. What is that? It's Crimea, of course, but it's the other four regions which are mostly occupied by Russia right now. We got Kherson, Zaporizhia, Luhansk, and Donetsk. All those areas, they want all the Ukrainian troops out of there, and they want to take full possession of them. Probably 90% of that land is already occupied by Russia, so Ukraine just gives up a little more. Yes, that's what they're going to have to do. Another condition is that, let's go to the next slide, that Ukraine will not seek joining NATO. They will not join NATO. They will be basically a neutral state. That's another condition they have, which is really, probably something needs to happen to maintain peace over there. So not unrealistic either. Next thing also, they cannot pursue nuclear weapons. There'll be a nuclear-free state. And they'll drop any pursuit of nuclear warheads. There's no talk of freezing the conflict, but of its complete cessation. So it's just not a pause, it's a stop of fighting. If Ukraine does that, fighting will end, we can have peace. Now, do we believe Putin all what he says? I don't know why you wouldn't. If you're trying to see if this will happen, it seems like it would work, but they are rejecting, and when they reject it, you got the last point. It says, but if the West and Kiev reject this proposal, the bloodshed will be the responsibility. So they're basically saying, if you reject this, we're going to go, full force and make you it. Basically, it's going to be unconditional surrender at this point. Medvedev's put out some, his Telegram post basically reflecting that, saying, we're going to have to make you submit, basically. They're ramping up tanks and other munitions, artillery shells, everything going forward, because there's probably going to be a big offensive coming to, basically make Ukraine bend the knee and do the full surrender. So we have that going on. Basically, more war is what NATO and everybody wants. Military-industrial complex, of course, they love it as well. And that leads into what the House did. So we talked about Father's Day, and those they have sons and daughters. The House of Representatives, they passed a funding bill for the defense funding bill, and in it was the thing about the Selective Service, or the draft. And basically what they're saying, when you were 18, you have a son, you turned 18, you're supposed to go to the post office, you sign up for Selective Service. It was quasi-voluntary. You're supposed to do it, but no one really tracked it. Some did, some didn't. Well, now you can see what they are going to change it to in yellow here if this gets passed. And there's something hidden that no one's really, I haven't heard anybody else on, prepping YouTube or anybody talk about this, but it's very important. It says, except as otherwise provided in this title, every male citizen of the United States, so that makes sense, every male citizen of the United States, but here's the key part, and every other male person residing in the United States. So every other male person. This residing means living here. It doesn't say illegal resident. It doesn't say legal resident. It doesn't say if you're a student going to class here, you're still residing here, but you're a student from a foreign country. If you're just on a work visa, green card. This basically says every other male person residing in the United States between the ages of 18 and 26 shall be automatically registered by this act in the director of the Selective Service. So that's everybody. We got illegal aliens, we got legal aliens, we got people just chilling here, but they're residing here, and we have citizens. You're all in the draft now. That's basically what this says. So people are talking about, well, they're automatically enrolling, citizens, 1826. According to this, it's every male in the country, everybody here. So we're going to train up, arm, teach how to fight. All those people coming across the country that may or may not like the United States. Very weird. Are they preparing for war? Yeah, they're preparing for war. Are they preparing for war against other countries, or are they preparing for war within this country? I don't know. Let it up to you decide. Put in the notes below. Also, if you want to hit that like button, share, subscribe if you hadn't. We're trying to push past that 2,200 level. I've been stuck at that place for quite a while now. I'd love, if you can get your friends, family to subscribe. It'd be great if we could, grow this as fast as we can. Try to give you the most pertinent information I can find out. There's things you need to hone in on, like this. You got sons and daughters. You got to seriously think, what are you going to do? We're going to do this point, when they say they're automatically enrolled. Do you want to fight for what this country stands for now? Something to think about. The reason I say sons and daughters, because the Senate just put this out. And then, they're strengthening the Joint Force and Defense Force. They put this out in this third bullet. It amends the Military Select Service Act to require the registration of women for selective service. So yes, they want your daughters. They want the daughters to join the draft. Now, I put out a post about this already on X saying no civilized country, no civilized society, no respectable country takes their women to war. If the women want to volunteer, fine, but you don't force your women to fight. The women stay at home. They take care of those left behind. They take care of the elderly, the home, the young. They keep the population growing by having babies, all that stuff, because a lot of men are dying. Times of war, your women don't fight. They stay back. That's just what a civil society does. Of course, we know what's happening to our society and the degeneracy, the social decay. Of course, you'd expect them to say, well, we're going to register the women to fight as well. Now, if they want to volunteer, if you have a daughter that wants to volunteer, that's great. Volunteer all you want. But you don't force the women to go. So that's just my opinion. I don't know what you think below, but that's just a bad move. And that means we're going to need a lot of people for whatever's coming up, because we're taking men and women now. So keep that in mind. Let's move on to some other stuff that's happening. And that's the Houthis. The Houthis, man, they're getting good at taking out ships. This is the second one in the last couple of days that they have sunk. This is the MV Verbena. It was hit by Yemen and has been abandoned and is sinking. It's the second vessel that's been done this in the last few days, last 4 days, they're saying here. And that says at the bottom, the U.S. Navy is struggling. Yes, this is from Iran observers, but it's a true story. And it's a sentiment from their point of view. And the U.S. Navy is struggling. They're not protecting anything out there. Even we had all those talks about the Eisenhower getting hit. And it was hush-hush, and it was, shoot off. Did it get hit or not? I don't know, but it might have. So the Houthis are getting better. They're not getting worse. The U.S. Navy and the UK Navy, they're not getting it much better either, protecting. So the Houthis are on a roll down there, and they're gonna keep flexing their muscles. And then here we have this. That port right here on this left side that was built by the U.S. Navy, then the Army, and it fell apart in a storm, then had to be rebuilt. Well, it's gone again. You can see here, June 15th, it's gone, because another storm's coming. So at least that's what they're saying. Maybe it broke down again. I don't know, but the great, much-hailed port to help the Gazan people with humanitarian aid has been disconnected once again. And then moving on to the last thing really quick, we have this. The Israelis are reverting to catapults, like in the days of sieges. By the way, you notice that? Wow, just had a giant bird hit my window. You probably heard that. That was it looks like it's okay, it flew off, but man, I had a bird crash this window. You see my reaction there. Anyway, let's get back to this. That's pretty poignant, that. What I was saying is, you can see Israel just catapulting flames over a wall to burn down the Lebanese Hezbollah side area. Are they clearing space, waiting for an attack? Probably. But it's interesting that they've reverted back to 16th century, 15th century means of doing this. But look at this wall. Walls seem to work, right? We should try that maybe here on the southern border. I don't know. I just find this interesting that that's going on here. That's all I have right now. It's a very short video. I'm going to go check out on that bird that smashed in that window, make sure that bird is okay. You can see my cat. He's checking out too. You can see the head peeping up the window. He's going to go check out the window and see how that bird is as well. But if you have any questions, concerns, you want to put them below. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to talk about it. And until next time, Keep your ear to the ground, head on a swivel.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.